Zuid-Soedan. Niet alleen honger, ook geweld. Uit het district Katyoketji zijn duizenden mensen hals over kop weggevlucht vanwege moordpartijen. Ze zitten nu met niets in enorme kampen in het noorden van Oeganda. Mensen van de kerk zijn meegevlucht en willen nu alles doen om in de hopeloze situatie hulp te bieden. Dominee Jonathan Soro, een van de leiders van de kerk, vertelt.
About 30,000 people who are now living in confined refugees camps where they just are squeezed together in a very disparate situation where they have very small plots. A family is given a very small plot only for putting a tent and no any other place, no cultivation. So you can imagine when people are squeezed together like in a slum. It's just a slum life type of life. So it also has made the youth to evolve into drug abuse, which takes them to things to do with sexual abuse. And that means to say there is a complete moral degradation in the people who are living in the camp, and more especially the victims are the youth. So our fear is that it may even lead to things to do like early pregnancy and the contraction of sexual contracted diseases, including AIDS and other things. One of the sad thing, there are already stories of people committing suicide because of frustration. They are traumatized and they find no answer. They look ahead and they could not be able to know how tomorrow is going to be. And they think the best thing is just to commit suicide because they don't like to see their life every day frustrated. So that's always when the mind has come to an end. And that is what is already happening in the camp. I remember sharing with one of the youth leader who went there with Bishop, and he said one of the sad story was a young lady who had just got married, and then they were chased out of the country. And this lady just said life is useless. And there was a burning fire. She just ran to the fire. She ran to the fire and she burned. So these are things which are really happening in the refugees camp. Maybe what I can say is, I know that when you hear these stories about Southern Sudan, most of you who will be hearing will either feel very much touched and you feel, what can we do at such a situation? One of the things that really I will emphasize, I know other people will not consider it very great, but I will request the churches to pray with the church in Southern Sudan, with the people of Southern Sudan, with the leaders of Southern Sudan, so that God can be able to intervene to bring a change in the mind of the people, in the mind of the leadership, so that they can be able to come into a round table. So I know that the church can play a very key role, especially in trying to see how they can be able to bring reconciliation. And in other way also, in case there is any other physical support, it's welcome, like in terms of the children in the camp. Like now, the spread of malaria is very high. No mosquito nets, and those are very key. Even if you sleep outside, but you can be able to tie a mosquito net up, and it can prevent the children from malaria. And those are some of the things, because when we miss our children, then there will be a gap. So I think a concern for children is very important to me. And the other things, there are many, but you know, we cannot be able sometimes to provide things as many as people could need. But whatsoever is helpful can be able to help us in this situation.